name is Vana Kim. I was born in Seoul, Korea in 1946. I'm currently based in Los Angeles. My earliest childhood memory is Korean War. I was 4 years old, but I have no earlier memories because of war trauma did something to my brain. I remember nothing before the war. I kept hearing it from my mother. We escaped the bombing of Seoul. There was my mother and grandparents and the three of us. We ended up in a mountain, a village that had a mountain. At night, the sky was pitch dark and there were zillions of stars pouring down. That was, to me, a most healing and spiritual experience, because all of a sudden I was transported into a different realm. It was so peaceful and beautiful, and Mother was there for the first time with us every day. Before that time, she was a teacher, so she was not with us. We were with the grandparents. So to me, that time, that period in the mountain was the best memory in my whole life. When I am in distress or worry or whatever terrible situation, I'm instantly, automatically transported into that experience, that time. I'm out of here and I am safe and I'm happy and I am whole. And that has been saving grace for me. From this mountain, a refuge in this mountain, we went down to south to my grandmother's place in Yongjiang. We stayed there for several months, and then we moved to Busan, and there we lived for 3 years. I remember when I first went there, it was a Japanese-style house, and it was a sliding door. And when I opened the sliding door, there was this huge portrait of a man, very dignified-looking man. And this was very striking to me because I've been seeing only a war and refugee life, people and so on. And all of a sudden, this suit and glasses, and then this portrait, which is unusually large. I said, "Who is this?" And eventually, I found out that that was grandfather Yu Jongman, and he was the president of Daedong Mining Company. This image stayed with me so deeply. It became my mission to find out more about him. So that I can explain to myself, to make sense in my mind. He was an educationally minded person. He wanted to help raise the Korean, at that time it was Joseon, people's consciousness to become self-reliant through education. He also built Daedong Technical School in Pyongyang because he believed in the educating Joseon, the Korean people, in science and technology. So that's what he did, with a dream to create a university. He didn't see it happening, but later on, that Daedong Technical School gave birth to Kim Il-sung University. I went to University of Toronto, and then University of Chicago and Harvard, and I majored in philosophy. Those were, to me, so easy. And you know why it was easy? I didn't have to read quantity. It was just, everything was of essence, and I could quickly get the essence. I cannot read books because I think I have a reading disability. But I did well in philosophy because I can get into essences. I came to create my own philosophy. I gave a name to this thing that keeps boiling inside me, and then is taking me to a certain direction. So I gave a name, a Korean name, 생명 모성. It's hard to translate into English. 생명 is life. 모성 is a maternal or maternity, because everybody's relationship with mother is very, very strong, the most important thing. But mother wounds, it just destroys. It's so many people. They're the core of their life energy. I studied this thing called the mother-daughter, as well as wounds. So after I got my doctorate degree from Harvard University in philosophy of education, instead of going into academia, I went to healing myself. So I dedicated 2 years full-time healing myself and really trying to understand what are my wounds and what kind of help are there out there to heal these wounds. And I got the picture. All the wounds, when you are an adult, it's your responsibility to deal with. You cannot project it to your mother and say, so you did this and that, and I turned out this way. So I took a different path to fully own my what was entrapping me and hurting me, caused all my sufferings. I came up with a solution, and then action plan. I sent a letter, and the letter said, Declaration of Emotional Independence. And I said, let's approach this in the most efficient way so that it doesn't hurt you or me, but quickly get to the point. So I proposed 2 things. For both of them, let's change our language. Let me stop calling you Amma. So we are no longer mother-daughter, this old-fashioned mother-daughter relationship. And you call me with this name, Vana. My name used to be different, Eunmyeong, Park Eunmyeong. So she came up with this name. And from that moment on, I would call her Ilsanim. No more mother. I have no mother. I only have a being to being. And then second suggestion was we change our language, the way we speak to each other. No more mother talking to a daughter, and no more daughter talking to mother. So in Korean, speaking within a respect form, 존댓말. And it was very difficult for her to talk to me in 존댓말. It was just not done. But I was adamant, and I started talking to her in 존댓말. My siblings had doubts. They had problems even. They didn't want to call mother Ilsanim in the beginning, but eventually they changed. After 10 years and more years, our relationship with mother changed completely. And that had a deep, widespread impact on our relationship with people around us, because we were happier. So we did the same thing with other people in our relationship with other people. So when we corrected our relationship, the core that cleared the air, it was my mother who, after she came back from Pyongyang to reunite with her father, she hadn't seen him for 28 years. It was an impossibility for anyone to go to Pyongyang at that time, 1975. There was somebody appeared who played a critical role for her to go there. It was a Chinese woman in Canada, Chinese-Canadian, who was part of the Canadian trade delegate. To make a long story short, she said, yes, I'll take your letter to Pyongyang and give it to him. I mean, that was absurd. I mean, she didn't know who he was, and she didn't know where to give it. But she said she will do it. So she wrote a letter, and then she included all the photos, and then she took it and she left it in the hotel because she was too busy, and she came back. That letter went to him, found its way to go to him. And then from then on, their communication, letter exchange started. Mother realized that he is there and healthy, and I should go see him. It was her lifelong search, yearning. So to make a long story short, she went. When she came back, she was a different person. She used to be a housewife. All of a sudden, she turned into a political activist. And what was most notable was she was praying morning and night. And what she was praying about was permanent neutrality, peaceful permanent neutrality of North and South Korea. Whenever I visit her, that's what she's doing. At night, she lies down in the bed, and then she prays. And then in the morning, she does that again. And the most unusual sight. Strange, but she's always strange. So this time she's strange this way. But what happened in Pyongyang? She wouldn't tell us, but she kept praying for 30 years until she died. In the process, this permanent neutrality of South and North Korea, it entered my mind. It was like an arrow. And then I started thinking, what is this? Because I never heard of those terminologies before. And then I became, I understood what this is all about and why this is important. Permanent neutralization of Korea, or Korean peninsula. It means turning Korea into a country like Switzerland that will not get involved in other countries' wars. Simply put, is that. And you will stay neutral. You pay attention to other people and do what you can, but don't side one power, especially don't get dragged into another superpower's war. So I started writing about K-neutrality, what it could mean and what it means to me, and where it should start, which is not at the political level, but from inside out, from oneself. You become a neutralized person, which means you clear all the conflict initiating, the poison arrows that's in you because of the ideology education. The peace starts with you neutralizing the dynamites that's embedded in you, in your body. You are full of it. So take that out. It affects my relationship with other people. The other people, my family members that are receiving at the receiving end, they are the victims of the work that I haven't done. So I started doing, whenever I have a conflict with my siblings and my family members, I immediately own that this is me. I am initiating this conflict, and it's because of what was embedded in my land, in my territory. I didn't invite it. It was done to me. So, but this is the only way, and this is the way for you to become a whole person. My name is Vana Kim. This is my Korean American story.